So Bob, I was dealing with a client today, and the question came up: should I use an attorney if I'm using you?
Well, Jake, that's a good question. Yes, a tenant should always use an attorney because you know what, we look at things differently. We don't replace an attorney doesn't replace us because an attorney looks at things from a legal liability standpoint, whereas we look at it more from a practical landlord-tenant relationship kind of situation. So when you look at a lease that's 40, 50 pages long, there are a lot of clauses in there I don't really even pay that much attention to. Things like indemnifications and remedies on default and exculpation and all these other words that are purely legal issues. I don't really spend a lot of time on those. Where I spend a lot more time is on how does the rent work, how does the improvements to the space, construction work, when do you have an option to renew, sort of more the mechanics of things.
So I recently had my will drawn up. Can I use that attorney?
Like anything else, there are specialists, and we always recommend that if you're going to use an attorney with substantial commercial leasing experience. Just because somebody can draft a will, just because somebody can incorporate a business, just because somebody can litigate or sue or whatever, does not mean that they really are experts in the industry of commercial real estate, and more specifically commercial leasing. And there are lots of attorneys that specialize. There's some that only do commercial leasing. There's others that only do sales. There's others that only represent lenders. So there's a broad variety of that. So you really need to think about your attorney first. And so what we always tell clients is, let us interview your attorney. If you have any question about whether or not they're the best person for it, we'll interview them on your behalf, and then tell you if we think that's a good person to use or not. And if not, we can certainly refer you to one that we think is good.